Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a playthrough of the solo mode of Great Western Trail El Paso, the new smaller take on the Great Western Trail formula. And disclaimer that I was given a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So if you haven't seen my coverage on the channel before, I'm a very big fan of Great Western Trail in general as a Euro series, and especially New Zealand is easily my favorite of the bunch. El Paso, I've heard somewhat mixed things, and so far in my first couple of plays, I've gotten my butt kicked by the Automa, but it's still pretty fun. So I am playing on the easiest level of the Automa. They have a little deck you can customize by adding more or fewer of these more powerful cards. I'm going to try to finally beat them. We'll see how it goes. I just seem to be trashed at this version. But I've got everything randomized. I am specifically, if you haven't seen kind of the buzz about this, a lot of people, me included, think that this one specific building, 2A, is grossly overpowered. There's other buildings that seem like better or worse, but that's always been the case. But yeah, this one is just kind of ridiculous. So I'm specifically playing with the 2B side of that. But besides that, I've randomized everything, which buildings are available, where these starting buildings are. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and start taking my turn and kind of explain things as I go. So I always take the first turn, which means I get 4 coins. I get 1 of these exchange tokens. And for your first turn, you get to start on any neutral building and resolve its action. And then in future turns, you'll do the normal Great Western Trail thing where you're moving in a clockwise direction around this rondelle kind of space, going from building to building, and eventually reaching El Paso is the main spot you're going to now. And notice that it is a circle, unlike most Great Western Trails where you go to a starting spot and then walk up. Here you just keep on going around. And with how things have randomly come out, we've got this one that just gives you some basic stuff here. This one is the train action, which might be the first one I take, actually. This is where you get more workers. That's another basic one. This is where you buy more cows in the deck building of the game. This is partially a deck builder, and here's where you build a building. So these 3 are kind of the big ones that use different types of workers. Even though people say train is underpowered and is probably going to be something I regret, I'm going to go ahead and try doing this train one as my first action. So I get to do an auxiliary action, I'll show you that in a second, and resolve a train action. So the auxiliary actions, you start out with only 2 of them unlocked. As you go around to El Paso and deliver cows, you can unlock up to 2 more options or make some of them better. So my 2 options right now are to discard a card from my hand and draw another one, or to get 1 coin. I'm actually going to get 1 coin because with the train action, I'm about to spend 4. So, with that being the case, why not just make the change now and leave myself with 1. And as for the train action, it's these cards up here. And you now have your workers, very different than previous Great Western Trails. They are cards. You've got wild workers that can be any of the 3 types. And then you've got cowboys that let you buy cattle. You've got builders that let you build buildings. And you've got these guys that let you work the train. And to take a train action, you discard 1, 2, 3, or 4 workers from your worker area. So I'm going to do, even though this is probably a bad idea, I'm going to do 2. So both the train worker and the wild. And these go to my discard pile, and they're going to be shuffled with the rest of my cards when I go through my whole deck. But whenever you draw one of these, you immediately put it in your worker area and then continue drawing. So they never use up your draw. So you're going to kind of cycle through and get your workers back after using them. You can also discard them for immediate benefits at any point during your turn. So a cowboy can let you move an extra space, just increasing the movement you're doing. The builders can let you get more certificates to make your trips to El Paso more rewarding. And the train guys and the wilds can just get you 1 or 2 coins. So that was 2 train people, and I had to spend 4 coins. You're always, for all these actions, cattle and buildings as well, spending 2 coins for each worker. And I get both these benefits. I get another auxiliary action. Well, hey, I'll take another coin because I'm feeling kind of broke here. And I get to take 1 of these 3. And this is actually why I wanted to go for this so quickly, because this is a really powerful ongoing ability. At least I hope it is. This says that when I get to El Paso, I can reuse 1 type of cow. So normally when we get to El Paso, you add up the values of as many unique types of cows as you want. So here I couldn't use 2 of these basic Criollo cows, but I could use 1 Piney Woods and 1 Santa Gertrudis, so I'd have a 5 value. But with this El Paso token, I could double use the Criollo or hopefully later, much better cows. So I think it's a valuable one. We'll see if it's actually worth taking it as my first action and spending all my money. It's also, by the way, worth 1 victory point. The other options I could have taken, this one's 4 victory points and immediately trash a card from my hand, so I could have permanently gotten rid of one of the Criollos. And this one would get me 3 of those exchange tokens to switch out things in my hand and 3 victory points. And whenever you buy one of these, you flip it. Oh, that's funny. Another one. So if I had 2 of those, I could, I guess, do doubling up or tripling up of cows. Well, that's it for my turn. Now, on future turns, I'm going to move up to 3 occupied spaces. You ignore any spaces that don't have buildings in them. And then I'll resolve the action. And by the way, if I had done anything that got cards out of my hand, I would draw back up to my max hand size, which starts out as 4, although you can upgrade it to 5, but I didn't use anything yet. All right, let's get to the automaton. These are simple to resolve. So they've got kind of this upgrade deck of sorts. It starts out with 3 cards of each of the yellow and blue better cows that you can buy into, 3 cards each of the 3 basic workers, and 3 wilds, all shuffled together into an 18-card deck. But they've also got this Sioux deck that is controlling the Automa's actions. There's 8 basic cards and up to 3 advanced B cards. Again, I'm using none of those because they've been kicking my butt so badly. So let's see what they do first. So this tells you how far they move. Sometimes it's going to be a straight value. Sometimes it's going to be based on 1 worker type. So here they're moving 1 based on their train workers. So just 1 space. By the way, the order of these matters. Whichever thing is further left might be prioritized on some action cards and also will be prioritized when they draw wilds and stuff, which you'll see. But yeah, anyway, here they're going to move 1 and then do a train action. They don't care what space they actually land on for a building. They always do whatever the action is on their card. So they move only 1 space. And they do the most expensive train one they can afford. Right now, they only have 1 train worker, so they're going to get an objective tile. There's a 3 offer for that as well. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to start with one of these. Sorry, yeah, at the start of the game, I should have gotten one of these. I'll go and take this one because that seems pretty easy to get. I'm almost certainly going to get a good delivery spot for El Paso, and I already knew I was taking one of the black ones. Okay, so you always fill in. So they always just get the most expensive one, in this case 4, and they get it for free. So that's just 4 victory points for them straight up. But they ignore other little bonuses. They ignore money. They ignore certificates. They're really just getting these tiles from these, and they can also get like new workers and stuff. But that's it for their action. All right, now for me. I do have a builder, I do have a cowboy, and I've got 2 coins left. So let's try to go kind of far. I don't really have enough to buy people. This space is kind of useless, I find. So I'm going to go to here. And the first action space you'll see a lot like this means that if I have that exact type of cow, in this case the black piney woods, I can discard it from my hand for 2 coins, which I will do. I can also, if I would like, pay 1 coin to get another exchange token, sure. You can use these at any time in your turn to draw a card and then discard a card to kind of shuffle through the cows that you don't need or to get back to your workers more quickly. And then finally, I can do a cowboy action, which is very similar to the train action. I discard as many cowboys as I want. I pay 2 coins for each one discarded, and I get the matching cow. So for a single cowboy, which is all I have, and 2 coins, I'm going to get a black Angus added straight to my discard pile. Worth 2 victory points at the end of the game just for existing in my deck, and worth 3 value if I take them to El Paso. All right, now because I did 3... that sucks. Well, it's actually not too bad with my El Paso thing. But yeah, I'd rather get different types of cows here, but oh well. I can use my exchange tokens in a moment if I need to, which I might. All right, the AI's next. They're going to move. They only have 1 builder, so they're going to go to the first spot, and then they're going to build. And what they always do is they take the most expensive building that they can build, or they upgrade a building because buildings can go... Here, let me show you the building board. So with 1 builder, you could either build the 1 builder building, or you could, if it's already on the board, upgrade it by the amount of builders. So like from 1 to 2, or if I had like 3 builder cards, I can upgrade a 2 to a 5. Now, this is not a building I can land on, and they never use it, so all it's really doing for them is gumming up the map, although they'll have to walk over it as well, and getting victory points for themselves. And they prefer to take the most expensive spot available and the closest one to them in a clockwise direction to break ties. So it's going to be right there. So again, slowing them down instead of me at the moment, so that's fine. Now, do I want to go straight to El Paso, or do I want to build my first building? I can sell a green here, and I've got 2 of them, although again, my El Paso thing will let me use it, so it's not that big a deal. But sure, let's go ahead and get my first building since they're doing theirs. So I'm going to sell a green for 2, which gives me 3 money for my first builder. So I could build on a -1 spot. Well, sorry, it's going to cost me 2 just to build the level 1 building. But then I can spend my last coin to build it here or here. So what is the level 1? This lets me sell any cow for double its value. That's why it's the 2 coins, and do an auxiliary action. Where do I want to put it? I mean, I can move 3. Again, I'm not going to do these actions too often. They've got that right there. So it is kind of a cruddy area in general, unless I can increase my movement speed or get enough money to buy workers. Now, if I do there, it doesn't actually slow down anybody, which is both good and bad because you have 2 options of where to go. Because the only spots that would actually slow down consistently are there or there. I can't afford that. And if I go there, I'm never going to use it. Right? So let's maybe put it here. That way it becomes an option when I'm coming off El Paso if I don't want to do a train action, since that one's not very good. I can go here and then hire a worker with the money I just made. That seems like it kind of makes sense. All right, let's see what we draw. Okay, nice. Now between these and those, I mean, I could do all of them with El Paso with my bonus and get to 6, which would get me one of these ribbons that lets me, the next time I deliver to El Paso, make my value higher. Or if I get to 7, I can get that. I mean, I can't get to 9, which is what would really be awesome for me because that would actually let me recruit a new worker. All right, Sue's moving 3, but not doing an action. So just rushing toward El Paso. Oh, whoops, I forgot to mark my building. Now, each player only has, there's a very big change from most Great Western Trail games. Each player only has 2 of these tokens to mark buildings with, so you only ever have 2 buildings on the board. But to be fair, it's such a smaller board comparatively that I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. All right, so I have to stop in El Paso. So I always get 5 coins automatically. I add a Simmental, one of these orange cows with 0 value to my discard pile for 2. And then I can deliver as much as I'm able to. So normally I would only be able to do 5 with my El Paso. Where is it? With my El Paso upgrade, I can deliver an extra Criollo, which is not going to get me to the 7 I would need for the next level up. The total is just 6, but it does mean I get another Criollo out of my deck, or out of my hand, I should say, and let me go through my deck faster. So because I've reached a value of 6, I can take one of my tokens from my board and put it on anything that is of the value that I delivered or lower. So here only a 5 or a 0. The 0 can hold any number of tokens from the same player. Same for the 12, same for the 16. That's why they have like a slightly different token or icon there. But importantly, black spaces can only go to black because these unlock better things for you, and white can only go to white. So here I have to take one of these. So I could upgrade this action to give me 3 coins instead of 1. I could upgrade to be able to use this action that would let me get certificates to do better deliveries later, because you can use these to add points. Sorry, I don't think I said that. I could unlock this one that would let me draw and discard up to twice to get through my deck faster. Or this one that cost me 3 to unlock, but would let me permanently call cards from my hand, generally most useful being the Criollo. Yes, what's better? I think both of these would let me go through my deck faster to get back to my workers. But I might not have enough money unless I have that one. For now, I'm going to try this, and I'll go ahead and get a certificate. Okay. And then I do draw 4 cards, which finishes out my deck, but I don't reshuffle my deck until I actually need to draw again. Now, what's the AI doing? They're moving 3, which is 1, 2, 3. Also going to get them to El Paso. And they don't do an action here. They upgrade. Let me show you that. So if you draw the top card of this deck, if it's a cow, it just goes into their cow supply, and they just get the victory points for it, basically. The same thing happens when they actually buy cows, so they just got 3 here. But if it were one of the workers, it would go onto the matching pile, and that would basically strengthen their cards for the rest of the game. So it's kind of lucky that we got a cow first here. Then because they're stopping in El Paso, they get a free Seminole. I mean, it's not worth anything, but this is a pile of 9 cards, and when it's exhausted, when we've taken all of them, the next player to go to El Paso is going to put their token here for 2 victory points, and then all the other players are going to get 1 more turn. So that's how the game end is triggered. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to say, they start with their token on 5, and each time they go to El Paso, they get 1 more. So here they're going to get an objective token, and they want the most valuable one, but these are all 3, and otherwise they get the leftmost one. So there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and enact my sort of plan for my initial stuff here. So I'm going to stop here on my own building. I can sell any cow for double its value. So even though I'd kind of like to do the Criollos, let's go ahead and do this well, I might stop at the place. So let's actually do the Piney Wood. So that's 4 coins. And then for the auxiliary, let's go ahead and draw and discard twice to get rid of these Criollos, reshuffle my deck, and get back to my workers as quickly as I can. So I have to resolve one at a time. So draw, Criollo, discard it. Draw a cowboy, immediately goes up, and again does not count as my draw. Draw a Seminole, discard a Criollo. Okay, and then I draw back up to my regular hand. Jeez. Yes, having 4 of these guys in your starting deck, 4 of the 1 value ones, is not great, which is why it is sometimes nice to get that trashing ability. But all right, that's it for me for now. Sue is going to move 1 and buy a cow. Okay, there we go. Since she only has 1 cowboy, she's getting the cheapest Black Angus worth 2 victory points, which, like the ones that's coming from her upgrade deck, just goes straight here. So there's her little cow supply of victory points. Okay, my plan was to go 1, 2, 3. So I can sell a white cow for 2, my Galloway. Yes, I will. And then I can hire new workers. The first one costs 5. If I want to do another one, it costs 8, and they can't be the same type. I've got 12 money, so I'm definitely not doing the 8, but I'll do the 5. You can, by the way, buy a wild whenever you get a worker, but it costs you 4 over whatever you're spending. So if it's a free worker with some effects provide, then it would just cost the 4. If it's one here I'm spending 5, it would cost 9. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to bankrupt myself that much. Now, whichever worker I get immediately goes to my supply, so I can use them right away, which makes me think, I think I'm going to get the cowboy, although I kind of want to get the builder. I've got one cowboy, so a second one would let me get a corriente for, well, actually, it's not any better value-wise than the Black Angus, but it's worth more victory points. But the builder would let me, I would only have one, but it would let me start getting towards, yeah, actually, the builder would only give me one builder right now, so let's get the cowboy and double up. Okay, and then Sue's moving one, and this one means they resolve whichever action they have the most of, or they prefer left or right when it's tied. So they're going to do another one build action after moving one. And they want to take the fastest pass, so they're going to skip my building entirely. And there are no one buildings left to build, so they're going to upgrade their existing one into a 2. So level 2 building, by the way, lets you sell any 2 value cow for 5. Not bad. And that lets you either do a cow action, cattle, like cowboy action, or an auxiliary. By the way, this is the one that, again, has had a lot of controversy for being overpowered. I think it is, because for only 2 coins, you get one of those black tokens that I had to take an entire double train action and spend 4 money to get. And then you also get to move your guy one more and resolve a whole other action. Yeah, give me a break. I don't know how the playtesting failed on that one. It's kind of ridiculous. And sorry, I didn't show my draw, but I actually got my builder, which now makes me kind of wish I had bought the other builder. But I still think I'm going to go to the cow. Oh, I don't have any blacks to sell. I could use one of these to get rid of the Criollo. I mean, sure, let's go ahead and do that. So I draw one. Oh, man. And then I discard, which is actually not too terrible because if I go to the build action next, I can use the green. So I'll stop there and just not sell. I will spend one, though, to get another exchange, and then I'm going to spend 4 to buy a double cow. One of the Corriente is worth 3. All right, coming over to Sue. They're just moving 1 and then upgrading. And okay, now they've got their first actual worker, so from now on, they will move more when they draw that builder card and build faster. Okay, once again, I could rush to El Paso. Maybe it's a bad thing that I'm not. But I'm going to go here. I'm going to sell my green for 2 coins. And then I'm going to use my 1 builder and 2 coins to... I could build another level 1 building, but I kind of think upgrading to the level 2 is probably a better choice here, because I can get more money and buy more cattle with, I've got 2 cowboys and a wild floating around now. That seems like it might work. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't been very good at this so far. Okay, they're moving 2 and upgrading again, which gets them... Oh, just another cow. I mean, again, I think that's good for me. Like, it is straight victory points, but it means that their actions are not getting any improved as the game goes along yet. All right, it's El Paso time for me. So I'm getting 5 coins. I'm getting my second Simmental. Now, this would be 2, 4, 6, 7... If I use my 1 certificate, I can get it to 8. But if I can get a non-1 value here, I could get a free worker. So let's use one of these. And that's fine with my El Paso. Normally that'd be terrible because it's 2 of the same kind, but I can do that once. So then I'll get to 9 and spend all of these, because that's going to let me get this free worker space here. And I get to pull one of these off. Maybe money? I don't know. Which worker do I want to get? I'm about to shuffle my deck, which almost makes me think I should spend 4 to get the wild and then immediately discard them to get 2 coins back. So it's really at a cost of 2. I'm getting 3 victory points, and then they'll cycle back through. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to get them for 4, immediately discard them for 2, and see them soon. Like, as soon as a bit of an exaggeration. Oh, never mind. I am definitely shuffling immediately. I forgot I hadn't seen all those guys. So yeah, because you can use the workers for their side actions as an immediate thing. You don't have to wait. By the way, I've seen some complaints, another sort of balance weirdness about the game, that it is possible to cull all the cows from your hand, basically, so that you always draw all your workers since they don't count as a draw. It seems like it would be ridiculously powerful and basically get you almost infinite money. But I've not tried to make that happen yet. Ooh, dang it. It's kind of too good. I wish I was already at El Paso, because look, I could really sell a ton or deliver a ton of cows right now. Oh, we're back to Sue, and they're moving only 1 still and doing a train, which is going to get them one of those objective tokens for a quick, easy 4 victory points. Good for you. All right. So I've got now a train guy and a wild. So I kind of want to go to my special spot here, but I guess I could use them to do the cow action for 2 coins. Yeah, that seems smart. And then I can do the train after if I want to. So sure, let's go a 1, 2. My only 2 value cow at the moment is the Galloway, but it gets me 5. And then I'm going to use my Wild as a Cowboy. So that's going to cost me only 2 points, but get me another 2 victory points from a Black Angus, which, adding the same type of cow to your deck is not necessarily the best thing. But since I've got the El Paso token, that shouldn't be as big a deal. Okay, and then I redraw. Oh, and I get another Cowboy and the Seminole. Okay. Oh, I got to say, with the way the new workers work, I feel like adding cows to your deck is maybe a fool's errand. They're getting to El Paso because you're just like kind of slow. Whoa, lots of builders. You're just kind of slowing down your own stuff, right? Like you're not getting to your special workers and drawing them as much as you would otherwise. So I'm not sure if any of that is actually smart for me to do. Right, but anyway, they went there. They get a worker. Or sorry, no, they don't. They just draw from their supply stack. Another cow. Okay. So they haven't upgraded anything, and they haven't gotten any of their wilds yet, except for their builders, which is cool for me. Okay. I could go to the train, which would let me do a single train action and get an objective token. This one I still need to deliver bigger to fulfill. 3+ building I don't have yet. Oh, that one I already have, so sure. I'll do the train action, I guess. So I'm getting another exchange token. I'm going to take this one. And the important thing for these, this is true of all Great Western Trails, is that a single object in your deck or collection can only fulfill a thing once. So if I use this for the blue Corriente, and then I also took this one that also needs a blue, I would need a separate blue card to score that. Right, I have to spend 2 for that and discard my conductor. Then I'm also getting to resolve an auxiliary. Let's do the exchange one. Draw and discard twice. So first, no. Second, well, at least I got through them, I guess. Okay. All right, Sue's next, and they're moving 1 and upgrading their trains. Oh, this place sucks. I can't use that. I really need to upgrade my movement. This one, I don't have a white to discard, so I could just buy another worker for all of my 5 money. Now, I do have... The Cowboy would let me move extra if I discard him. Oh, but that would only get me to the space that wants me to have a Cowboy, so that's a terrible idea. Yeah, stopping at the train maybe was not worth it. I could go here and get 2 money and a certificate. Because I'm getting pretty close to being able to do the 10s. Actually, the certificate is not anything to sneeze at. So even though I usually think of this as the worst action space, I'm going to go here. Because currently that gets me 3, 6, 8, 9, 10. So that's actually enough already if I go to El Paso next turn, which I could just go straight there. That would be enough for me to place my first black, which either gets me a permanent certificate, making my trades to El Paso better, lets me get to a 5th hand, which is ridiculous, or lets me get +1 max movement. Yeah, that's going to be hard to choose between. But either way, short turn for me. They're moving a single space and then doing a build action, clearly. And this time they want to build... Oh, yeah, right there. Blocking me up, the most expensive one they can. Okay. Which means now I can't get to El Paso unless I use my Cowboy to move farther. Or I could stop at the Cowboy spot, but I don't have a black to sell. I don't have a green to sell, and I don't have any builders. So you know what? I am going to use the Cowboy to get +1 movement and just go straight to El Paso. Oh, well. And wait, I don't have enough, right? 3, 6, 8, 9. Oh, I do if I use that. But should I? Yeah, I guess I don't need to do the discard and trade thing yet, because if it's enough, it's enough. So I'm getting 5 coins. I'm actually pretty doing well money-wise. I get another Simmental that I don't necessarily want, and I'm going to do all of these plus that for 10. Well... Actually, hold on. Maybe I should save the certificate because those are kind of hard to get and use the discard and draw thing. There we go, because now I got a Galloway, which is 2, 5, 7, 10 naturally without needing to do anything else. I think, even though movement is kind of a problem, I think I'm going to get a 5th card in my hand for 4. As I go to here, I get 2 victory points later. I get another certificate, but that cost me 4 money, so I'm down to 9 now. I'm going to draw back up to 5. Let's see how many workers I get. Maybe 0? What the that's the worst. Wow. All right, and then Sue is moving 3 and getting another Cowboy. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I want to... Definitely don't want to do a train, so I'm going to go to here. And then I guess I'll stop there because I do have a lot of money now. So I can resolve these in whatever order I want. So I think I'm going to do the auxiliary to draw and discard twice. Okay, so I get my wild. I'm still... Okay, and then I get a Criollo, and I'll discard that. Okay, then my second draw. Okay, my second... Okay, there's my workers. So I'm still drawing for my second card, a Black Angus. Okay, so I'll discard, I don't know, one of these, I guess. Okay, and then the other action was to discard a 2-value card to get 5 money. Boom. And then I get to draw back up to my new hand size of 5. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, and Sue's going, 3 and then building again. Though she doesn't quite make it to El Paso, but yeah, she's building for 3. And she wants to upgrade a building as much as possible, which would be the 2 to the 5. So that's getting her 5 victory points, basically. Oh, let's not take the token away. Okay, so I don't have a train guy. I don't really care about trains. Anyway, let's buy another worker, I think. First I can... I don't have a white. Gosh darn it. Let's see. Should I spend 5 for a basic one? Sure. I think I'm actually going to get a second builder, so I can even do 3 with my wild to try to get like some really cool building. All right, and Sue's definitely going to go to El Paso. Oh, and do nothing else. So they're just getting an orange and locking in the same place I went to. They're just going to get the 2 victory points from it. Okay, and then yeah, I'm going to definitely go there, right? Because I've got a 2 to sell for 2 money. I'll pay 1 for another exchange token. And then I can buy... Do I want to do a double? No, I think just getting another Black Angus is okay, so I'll pay 2 for that. I've got a lot of ways to exchange cards. It's 2 victory points as opposed to 3 for the blue one. I think it's okay. All right, and then I'm getting... Okay, those are all different. 2, 4, 7, 8, 10, up to 12. That would let me get the next one up if I wanted. But we will see how things go. They're going 2 and then buying a Corriente. Okay, I guess I do want to stop at the builder, right? Because I got a lot. I can sell my green for 2. Then I can do a 2 or a 3. 3 would let me upgrade this one to this 5 that lets me get an exchange token to 2 different of those and then move 2 more. The one really big negative of that is that moving 2 more will either get me to my train. I only have like 1 conductor in my whole deck, or their building. But it would let me do another auxiliary on top of it. That is kind of great. So, sure, I guess so. It'll cost me 6 money, though. I'm about to go to El Paso, so it should be okay. This one's kind of important. Oh, I got a cowboy. Okay. You know, I mean, I am going to do my turn later. Let's go ahead and use one of these right now to see what happens. That's way better. That's way better because I can double use those. So that's 6, 8, 10, 11. I'll need to use one of those to get to the 12 spot that I want to do next. All right, and Sue's going to move 2 and then do a train. Not too fast. And she's getting this, the most expensive black one. It's another one that would trash a card. It's a nice tile to get, but yeah, I just haven't been training very much. Okay, let's go to El Paso. Get 5 coins. And do I want to use this to get rid of the Criollo and not have to use my certificate? You know what? I think I do. Worked out well last time. Ooh, this, how much do I get for this? 2, 5, 8, 11, 13. I can go right to the 14, which I should definitely do because the 12 is a lot easier to get to next time. That's 7 victory points. Do I want to get +1 movement or +1 certificates? I mean, since I skipped 12, I feel like I won't have too hard a time even without the +1 certificate. I'm going to get the +1 movement, which also gets me 2 money. Because that'll let me go, like, if I go there to there, 1, 2, 3, 4, will let me go to, like, oh, no, that's theirs. Shoot. Yeah, my movement options are not great. Never mind, I'm going to get the +1 certificate and 1 money. And I got to take one of these. Oh, there's only 2 left. So that means there are 3 more visits to El Paso between the 2 of us. Them getting there, me getting there, them getting there probably. And then we'll actually trigger the end of the game in the final turn. All right, I'm drawing to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's some ugliness, but at least I got some worker. Oh, and actually train. This is good because, right, I'm going to do the like free train thing in a second. Cool. All right, things are kind of cooking. Sue's moving 2. And, oh no. So when this happens, they go to their biggest, like their most already built up pile to make it even stronger, as long as it doesn't already have 4 cards, because they don't want to like go above the max needed to benefit most from that thing. Now, if it was tied, then they go on the leftmost with the wilds. That's why that initial draw of which cards are more leftmost or rightmost does have an impact on the game and the AI's kind of preferences. All right. So let's do my new little thing. Right, so I'm going to get an exchange token. I get to do 2 different auxiliary actions, and then I can move 2 again to go to the train space. Well, 2 different is pretty obvious. I'm going to get 3 money and get 2 exchanges. Sounds pretty good to me. So, okay. I like getting my workers. No, Criollo, get out of here. Second exchange. Yes. Love all this. And, oh man, another Seminole. I guess I'll still keep it over Criollo, but that's still pretty dumb. Yeah, see, these things you get a ton of just from going to El Paso, so it kind of sucks. Okay, then I can move up to 2 and immediately resolve the action there. So I'm going to go there. I think I'm going to do the 2 exchanges again over getting the money. Piney Woods is fine. Let's get rid of a Seminole. And Black Angus is great. Let's get rid of a Criollo for now. And I also can do a train. So I'm going to do, I think, a 2 train. Well, let's see what the black and whites are looking like. And getting 3 exchange tokens is pretty dang good. I don't really need the El Paso one. Again, it's not worth as much. I don't know if I've bought another blue. And I do have a 4+ building, so that's just 4 straight victory points. So actually, yeah, I'm just going to spend the 1 train guy and 2 coins to get a exchange token and that. Because I know it's a locked in 4 victory points immediately, which is not too bad. All right, now Sue's just moving 3. Oh, getting right to El Paso. Okay. So they get the second to last Simmental, and they lock in 4 more victory points. Okay. So again, between the two of us, we have to get to El Paso twice to actually trigger the end of the game and the final turn. All right, so I can move 3. I think I definitely want to buy more workers, and I can sell the Galloway, so that's good. Yeah, let's sell that for 2. And then, geez, I could buy another builder or another cowboy, and either one would get me to 4 cowboys would let me get the 8 victory point Hereford. That's so ridiculous. But if I get another builder and then use the wild, that's 3 builders, which would not be enough to upgrade my 5 to the 7. And this doesn't have free movement anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to buy another cowboy for 5. And I'll have enough money to buy the giant purchase. Oh, there's another wild. That changes things up a bit. And I got a green. This is a solid collection of cows right now. All right, see what you doing. Moving 3 and getting another cow. Okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those victory points build up. Skipping 2, 3. Okay. All right. I mean, I don't mind if they beat me to El Paso, because then I can get the 2 victory points for the last one there. I don't want the orange cow. So, I mean, yeah, let's definitely go 1, 2, 3 to buy more cows. I guess I can afford to sell this for 2. All right, so I sold the black for 2. I'm buying the replacement for 1. And yeah, let's go big or go home. I'm doing 4 people and 8 money to buy myself 8 victory points. Seems good, theoretically, even if I'm probably never going to get to use it at El Paso for its 5 value, but that's okay. And I do have a ton of these exchanges. Oh, man, I need more money to use all these builders on the builder spot. I do have a green to sell. That would get me to 3, but yeah, I can only build like for a single 1. Unless, I can discard my guys to get more money. All right, well, anyway, we'll figure that out my next turn. Okay, Sue's only going 1, so I guess I am going to get to El Paso before her. And, she's upgrading her trains. Okay. That's also 3 victory points, by the way. So yeah, like I said, big swing of whether they get cows or workers in the game. All right, so I'll go here. Let's see how these Mun-Muns work out. I'm going to sell you for 2. And then let's use some of these exchanges because I want to get rid of the Seminoles anyway. So draw 1, discard. Use another one. Okay, well, I'm not getting the workers I'd hoped for. Well, let's use the last one because we're about to go to El Paso for the last time in a second, right? Oh, I mean, that's actually really good. Dang it. I guess the Simmental's the most likely thing I'm going to draw. Because I don't want to get... Well, I mean, I do have more Black Anguses. I could accidentally get another Black Angus. But, okay, let's say there. All right, so I'm going to discard the wild for 2 money. And then use both builders for 4. Which can give me a 2-level building. What do I want to do with it? I mean, I guess if I go there, I could, stop there. But I don't want to give the AI a whole extra, turn, do I? Although with how long they're taking to go, it probably won't matter very much for their total number of turns. So sure, let's put it right there. I mean, yeah, I might put myself in a bad way here. Okay, good. I didn't get another Black Angus. What am I at? 2, 4, 7, 10, 12, 13 free. I can get to 14, but I already filled 14. Darn it. 16 would be the next one that I could actually do. All right. Let's go ahead and see. They're going 1 and then doing their best action. Oh, another building for 4. Oh my gosh. They can upgrade their 5 to a 9 for... That's an 8 victory point jump with 1 action. Ouch. Dang it. Okay. I think I'm going to go here. And what do I sell? What have I already seen? I see my green, and I see my black. Oh, wait, and I see my white. So they're all equivalent. Never mind. So I have to sell this one for 5. Well, you know what? Hold on. I forgot that I can use the alternate action first. So I'm going to use this to draw and discard twice. Oh, Corriente, that's better. I got to decide what I'm going to draw before I see what the next thing is. I don't know. The green, and then crud. Nope. Discard you. What's that get me to now? 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 14. That's only 15. All right, well, yeah, whatever. Then I'll go and sell one of these for 5 money. What do I draw? Gosh darn it. 6, 9, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I can get to the 12, but I can't get to the 16. Darn it. Not sure any of that was worth not just going to El Paso. Oh, God, they're going to move 4 times. They'll go straight to El Paso and then build again. It was a terrible card for them to draw, but I guess they're going to get it eventually. 1, 2, 3, skip mine 4. Yep. So they get the last one. They get 7 more victory points. Ouch. and they get to build for 4. The best they can do is upgrading. Oh, God, they're 3 to a 7. That's 6 more victory points for them. Yeah, it's not good, y'all. Not good at all. Which means that when I go to El Paso, they're going to get 1 final turn, and I'm not. I will get 2 victory points, but meh. So what? So I get 5 money, which is worth a victory point. That part's fine. And I have no way to get to the 16. Darn it. I've got 6, 9, 11, 12. Might as well use this. 13, 14, but I already filled 14, and that's not a refillable spot. And this doesn't really matter either. Yeah, I guess I'll just get the 2 money then, and 4 victory points. All right, and I lock that in, and what's their last action going to do? They're going to buy a 2 value cow for 3 money. All right. Well, that's it. I think they probably beat me again. Unless I don't want to abuse the unbalanced building. I don't want to use the strategy where I call my entire deck and draw my workers every turn, because that just seems like absolutely dumb. But maybe I should, because I'm still sucking at this one otherwise. All right, well, let's see the damage. Okay, so I guess they're Sioux, right? Not Automa. There we go. So coins, they don't have any. I've got 2 5s left. Buildings, Jesus, they've got 25, and I've got 9. That's not enough, Mike. That's not enough at all. Okay, these, I think we're equal, right? 2, 6, yeah, so we each get 13. I did not get ahead of them at all on that. Okay, workers and cows. Let's see, we have to go through our decks. So they got 38 total from their cows and workers. Ridiculous. I got 35, a lot coming from that one big cow. Okay, these, they had 1 for 4. I had 1 for 1. Those, they had 11 because they all count as completed. And I definitely completed all of mine. And I have 10. And then I get 2 from that, I think. You know, the rules don't even say anything about that. I just looked, but I think that's what it's for. So yeah, I got destroyed. 11, 24, 59, 60, 72. And they got 76, 87, 91, I think. Yep, once again, beaten by a ton on the easiest level. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, review. Let's jump into this one. Now, keep in mind, take with a grain of salt, I'm coming to El Paso as, again, a lover of New Zealand, an enjoyer of, like, the bigger Great Western Trails games in general. So one might say that this game is not meant for me. And that, this is, like, the smaller, lower price point buy-in, like, easier version of Great Western Trail to get into. That being said, I think that they cut too many things that I enjoyed in stripping down the experience. I think it's not nearly as interesting. Clearly, there's way less going on with the board. But the bigger thing, besides just it seeming like a simplified version, and these are common complaints, but I agree with them. I feel like the train action is not that great. You know, like you're getting tiles that are worth victory points, and the black ones can be pretty dang powerful, don't get me wrong. But, like, I can't really see, like, a high many engineers, like, many conductor train strategy ever really doing well. The cowboys are also kind of strange because you're glomming up your own deck with cows, which means you're not drawing your workers, which is not how workers have worked in any of the other ones. I mean, I guess the closest corollary would be in New Zealand. If you buy a ton of cows, you're not getting your cards that let you, like, immediately play them for a cool bonus and then get rid of them and draw again. So that's kind of similar. But it feels way more restrictive here. Like getting a ton of cows just means you are not going to get your good cards as often. And like I said, people have talked about a kind of game destructive strategy to call a ton just to get infinite workers. So that's definitely weird. The one building that's completely stupidly costed, and that if you play with it will, I think, break any game. And like literally everyone that I've seen that talks about this one says if you don't build it on your first turn, you're a moron because it's just that good. So yeah, I don't know. It feels like they maybe, not to make any assumptions, but it feels like they maybe didn't cook this one as long as they should have. They didn't think about it as much as they should have. Now, are these just sour grapes because I apparently can't beat the Automa in this game on the easiest level, whereas I regularly beat the Automa in New Zealand and like play really well in that game? Hey, maybe it is. Maybe I'm just missing some strategies that aren't broken or aren't like balance issues, and I'm just playing poorly. But yeah, getting down to it, I would not recommend this one as your first Great Western Trail foray. So I don't know. I think it's still like it's definitely less complicated and way faster than Great Western Trail. That's the one big thing. So I'm sure some people are going to enjoy it for that. But I think it is the weakest of the Great Western Trail entries that I have played. So, take that with a grain of salt. But in any case, thanks for watching, everybody. And a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Steve Wren, Miles, and Wayne Scott. We'll see you at the next stop.